If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Hey, Trevor, we can't hear you.
All right, I wasn't muted. We're live, pal. So I got to rewind it back. What's up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of Straight Talk MMA. Episode 14, by the way. Can't believe we've done 14 of these already. Tonight we're going to do a preview of the UFC 291 card, Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. I'm assuming you guys can hear me because you hadn't said anything again.
Yeah, you good.
But I'm not alone. I'm not alone tonight. As always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, Zay and Bones. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on? I wouldn't dare let you do this one alone.
You know what I just noticed watching that video, and I'm looking at all my videos, all my intro videos and stuff. My name always the last one. I'm like, I don't know. I guess Vacated just ribbing me or something. I just realized my name is always at the end of all the videos. I don't know. I think he just ribbing me on it. But all right. So tonight we're gonna do a preview of the Poirier Gaethje. They're running it back. So before we get started, when was the first fight?
5 years ago.
So the first fight was 5 years ago. Okay, so that was 5 years ago. Now, before we get into anything, tell me as to why is this card important? Why should I care about this? Why is this so must see?
Because this one has stakes, because it's for the BMF title. And plus, both fighters have progressed, and both fighters are different since their last fight.
And not just that, but if you look at it, okay, Gaethje versus Poirier, number 2 versus number 3. Okay, if you saw their first fight, Justin Gaethje alone by himself, every fight he's been in has been a performance bonus, fight of the night, knockout of the night, whatever. 11 UFC fights, 11 bonuses. You got big implications on the light heavyweight world title, which is vacant right now, between Alex Pereira and Jan Blachowicz. Then you got Tony Ferguson coming back against Bobby Green. Could be his last fight. You don't know. It's just a lot going on, man. It's one of those cards that if you saw the last one, you see how great we reviewed the last one, the ratings that we gave it, and that card over-delivered. If this card slightly lives up to expectations, then it's going to be just as good, if not better than that one.
All right, so I want to before we get into the card review, I want to just give my quick thoughts on this first fight. I actually just watched this fight not even 30 minutes ago. So I will say this, as never seeing it before, and I just watched it strictly just to watch it. I didn't watch it like I did the Henderson Rua fight where I watched it to take notes. I thought this I thought this was a hell of a fight for a bunch of different reasons. I thought that this fight was demoralizing for Poirier had he not won, because in the second round, I think they gave a crazy stat saying he had already landed like 120 punches. Since we've been doing this show, I've been looking at the striking card, and in some of the main events, the entire main event hadn't thrown 150 punches. So the fact that this guy landed 120 by the second round was ridiculous. Another very jarring stat was the 41 headshots by the second round. I am hoping that after this fight, both guys were checked for concussions, because there's no way a human being is supposed to just stand there and get hit like that. So that leads me into my next thing. Justin Gaethje is why I said it was so demoralizing had Poirier not won, is because he literally was using that guy as a punching bag. And the fact that Gaethje just kept coming forward, I don't know if that's a testament to him just having a hell of a chin, or that's saying that Poirier has no power behind his punches. Nevertheless, that alone was remarkable. I've never seen a guy.
My bad. It's just itching. I'm itching to let you know one thing as you say that stat. Dustin Poirier has the most knockouts in lightweight history. So there you have it.
Yeah, but I mean, his punches were getting eaten up like nobody's business, and
That's
and
because
the
it's
fact,
Gaethje. That's what he do.
yeah, but again, if you got hit in the head 41 times and didn't drop, he didn't drop him one time. I mean, outside of the
never seen Gaethje fight. That's all that is. I mean,
the ending.
That's more of a testament to Gaethje than it is Poirier.
Like that was insane, man. That's like he literally, and that was just in the second round. The fight went what, 4 rounds? In the second round, and then but Gaethje just kept walking him down with those leg kicks. And if it seemed like the leg kicks were more brutal than the actual punches. The only time Poirier looked like he really was doing damage, because in the first round, it looked like he destroyed him. I mean, Gaethje's face was all busted up and everything, but he was laughing the whole time. The only time he looked like he was delivering damage was when he finally start going to the body, and that's where he was taking his win. And I even think I heard one of the commentators say, if you hit him in the head, you're just hitting him in the head, but if you take his body, then you're taking all the wind out of his sails. And he must have heard him, because then he started delivering body shots. But those leg kicks were brutal, even with the eye pokes. You could see Poirier was using the eye pokes as a time to take a break, because his legs were just getting brutalized. Even when he was in the corner, he was telling his corner, put some ice on the upper leg, put the ice on the upper leg. Like, so them leg kicks were more violent than those body punches. But I mean those punches. But I thought it was a tremendous fight. And then for Poirier to pull it out at the end, like, you know, in that nice TKO fashion. One thing I will say before I land my plane, in the third round, I forget who was on commentary, but they said that Gaethje was way ahead on points. How the hell that was possible when he was getting outstruck like nobody's business? There was no takedowns in the fight. So I have no idea how the hell they scored that fight. And not to mention, he got the point taken away from eye poking. But I think that was a tremendous fight. And I would, anybody who if this one is just as good or better, then I guess whoever's watching this is in for a treat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was gonna be my selling point. Did you see the first one? And if you did, then it's like, how can you miss the second one? And also, I'm gonna just stop because I'm gonna end up burying the lead.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to, I wanted to get, because I'm not gonna obviously put no input on any of these other fights, but
Right.
I just wanted to, the one that I actually watched, because like I said, and the reason I wanted to do it now is because I just watched it. I didn't want to wait until the end and then I forget everything that I just saw.
Did you see how Poirier couldn't even walk to the corner after one of those rounds?
Yeah, his legs were getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And then when he started throwing leg kicks, it's like they were non-effective.
Gaethje is the best leg kicker in the game.
Yep.
Yeah, I was shocked. Like it was a really good. I thought it was really, really good. I say like that fight, there was a few takedown attempts, but Poirier even was like, you know what? I can't, it don't even matter. Like he grabbed his leg and he was like, you know what? I stop this. I can't get him down, so I'm gonna just keep banging. And he was like legit hitting them with just clean shots. I mean, like those shots were so clean, and it just would not drop him. Man,
That's Gaethje, man. He got a hell of a chin, man.
So this fight is for the, well, we'll get to it. So what are we doing? We're doing
We only doing 2 fights on the prelims.
But go to your screen, Trevor.
The prelims or the early prelims?
Prelims.
Wait, hold on, go down, because I'm looking at it right here. They don't got them in order. So, all right, go down to like the prelims, the regular prelims. All right, yeah. So we'll just do the first early prelim. I saw it already. Do the first early prelim, and then we could go to the main card.
Yeah.
So the first early prelim would be, it's only 2 early prelims.
Yeah.
So you got Miranda Maverick versus Priscilla, however you say her name.
Cachoeira.
So you guys are doing that one or the Matthew Salenberg?
We'll do that one.
All right. So early prelim, we have Matthew Smellerberg.
No. The Miranda Maverick and Priscilla Cachoeira.
All right, so we're gonna do that one. Women's flyweight bout, Miranda Maverick versus Priscilla Cachoeira. Who you got and how does this shake out? Ooh, that's a big underdog there.
All right. So for me, this is a fight that, like, even though she's a big underdog, I feel like it can go either way. Miranda Maverick came in with a lot of hype behind her, but she on the 2-fight skid. Priscilla Cachoeira, I've seen her get punished. She got some power. Miranda Maverick is more like well-rounded. She's not great in any area, but good in all. Priscilla Cachoeira, she got some power, but she's also, her striking isn't as technical. She's a pretty good grappler. I'm not a fan of her because in her last fight, so because of that, I lost all respect for her. So I'm looking for she could win this fight, but Miranda Maverick, I think she needed more. I think Miranda Maverick will squeeze out a decision, but I think the odds are lopsided.
Yeah, she's a big ass underdog.
Yeah, for me, like my brother said, Miranda Maverick came in with a lot of hype, but she on a 2-fight losing skid. Her last fight, she lost in Canada. I'm gonna go with Priscilla Cachoeira on this one. I think she'll take it by decision. I think she just gonna piece her up on the feet, and most likely, I think she's gonna try to keep it standing.
Yeah, Miranda Maverick is like built like a little fire hydrant. Priscilla, I feel like her best bet is to make this like a nasty dog fight, whereas Miranda Maverick, I feel like she should try to keep it more technical and incorporate her grappling.
Wait a minute, Miranda is the favorite in this.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, well,
you got to bet 335 to win 100.
Yeah, she's a heavy favorite.
Mm-hmm. But also, if you look at this card as you go up, it's a lot of like 50-50 fights, and that's another thing that makes it so exciting.
So y'all, hold on. I know we said we're only doing this one early prelim, but you guys got to tell me about this 1980s porn star Matthew Smellenberger.
Simmelsberger, I think this might be his third or fourth fight in the UFC. He got a really good chin. He's a striker, but he gasses out. Euros medic, uh, he's 100% grappler. Um, I don't know how that fight gonna go. I haven't seen either one of them enough to give like an educated guess, but I know Simmelsberger is never really in a boring fight. So if it's an exciting fight, I would say Simmelsberger gonna win because that's more his style. If it's Euros medic, and it's gonna be like either a lay-in prey or a submission.
Yeah, Simmonsberger, he got to keep it, I would say, standing and keep his distance. And it's more likely that if he win, he'll get like an early finish, I would say. But if it go all 3 rounds, I say Medic got it. But if I pick Matthew Smellersberger.
Yeah,
but he got the hair and the stash, don't he?
Yeah, he looked like he should be in and he should he should be in like a 1980s. He coming to install your cable or be a plumber or some type of crap like that.
He kind of look like if you cut the hair, he would look like Hank from Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah. What I did want to get to is this fight card is coming from Salt Lake City, Utah. How come they aren't running Vegas like they normally do?
Honestly, I feel like I missed the boat on that one. I would have rather seen this fight in Vegas. I don't know why they put such a big fight in no offense to Utah, but a random ass town in Salt Lake City, basically. I would have rather seen it somewhere else.
To me, I'm not going, so it don't matter. But I feel like that's something else you got to take into consideration when you're looking at these matchups. Cardio is going to come into play because I think they're like 5,000 feet above 2,000 feet above sea level.
Yeah,
last time they were in Salt Lake City, UFC history happened when Kamaru Usman got knocked out with the head kick by
Leon
Edwards, and but you saw the altitude take effect. Leon Edwards was kind of flat that night, and then the fight of the night, which was Paulo Costa and Luke Rockhold, both of those guys were completely gassed. So I feel like, especially when it comes to the heavier weight classes, that's something that you should look out for, people to get gassed out. So I don't know, it could affect the fights in a way where people try to just go for broke and try to get the finish, like when it comes to the heavier weight classes, because I don't think they want to go a full 3 rounds at that altitude.
Hey, I got a question for both of y'all because I was watching the embedded series and the countdown, and like for example, Justin Gaethje, he got out I believe like 14 days before or something like that, whereas Poirier, he got out maybe like 7 days before to acclimate his body to the climbing and stuff like that. Do y'all think that makes a big difference? And if y'all was a fighter or something like that, would y'all rather go out earlier or wait till later?
It absolutely makes a difference.
Yeah, I think it makes a difference. I feel like I would go out as early as possible. But the thing is like if you're going out early, that means if you go out before your camp is over, you got to fly people out to train with because you don't know who's in that area that fits the style that you want to use to prepare for your opponent. Gaethje, he trains in Colorado, which is even higher sea level than
Salt Lake.
But what I hear from people way more educated than me on this matter is that you don't go out there and just train at altitude, because if you do, you're not going to get a good training in because you're going to get tired. They say the key is to live at altitude and then go train at a lower level so that way you can train for longer and get more return on your training. And I know that Poirier, he got these tents from this company. It's like altitude tents, and he said he'd been sleeping in those. And when he got there, he got a Airbnb that's above the sea level that they fighting at by like 2,000, 3,000 feet. And he said he went on 5-mile runs and whatnot, and he didn't feel a difference. So I don't know. We'll see. But that was one of the main factors that I was worried about too in that fight.
One thing I forgot, and I don't want to lose this thought. At the ending of round 2, like he timed it perfect, where Gaethje did like this somersault overhead Street Fighter kick. I had never seen that before.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's one of his staples.
and it
He
just
does that.
it timed the bell perfectly. Like, yeah, that was great.
And I feel like the reason why he does that at the end of rounds most of the time is because if it don't work out, the opponent don't got time to capitalize.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get into this this prelim card. So
Nah, the main
welterweight,
card.
huh?
Main card.
Oh, you guys aren't looking at none of these prelims?
No, it's a fight that they got on the main card that's really a prelim, so it's not really in order. That was the only other prelim we was gonna do. So you can just start at the main card and then we'll end up catching it.
All right, so none of these guys any good, huh?
Nah, it's not that. It's just so much on the main card. You feel me? And like Gabriel Bonfim, he undefeated. CJ Vergara, he's an extremely entertaining fighter. Vinicius Salvador, he's going for broke. But that main card is just juicy, man.
Bro, I swear I just saw a guy on here. I swear I just saw this guy fight like 2 shows ago. All right, let's get into this main card then. In the welterweight bout, we got number 12 Michael Chiesa versus Kevin Holland. I just saw Kevin Holland fight.
Yeah, he was at the fights in April that we went to in Miami.
So he won that fight, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
Michael
okay.
Chiesa was supposed to be on that card, but his opponent pulled out.
All right, I'm gonna start this one off. Michael Chiesa, I believe he's on a 3-year layoff, 2 or 3 year. I believe it's 3-year layoff. He's more of a grappler. So he's gonna look to take the fight to the ground and try to get a submission. I feel like if you do get a submission, it'll be a rear naked choke from the back or probably an armbar. But you got Kevin Holland. Man, Kevin Holland, his last fight, it was extremely impressive. He went against Santiago Ponzinibbio, and I just watched the fight today, matter of fact. But he caught him with a nasty punch, and he just like face planted. And when you see a fighter face plant, that's always kind of brutal to see. And then he caught him like a follow up shot. You don't really see Ponzinibbio get knocked out often. That was only my second time ever seeing him get knocked out, so that was pretty impressive for me. Kevin Holland, his striking he got the better striking in this matchup. I'm gonna pick him to win. I feel like he is well rounded and he does have good ground skills, but it's just that Chiesa, that's his world is on the ground. So I feel like Kevin Holland got to keep his distance and keep it standing. And I can see Chiesa shooting in for like a takedown and catching the knee or something like that, or maybe an uppercut, because Kevin Holland, he also is real unorthodox too. So you got to look at, him to strike from anywhere, whether it's an elbow, a knee, whatever. So I'm gonna pick Kevin Holland to fight. I'm gonna pick him to win by. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go 3rd round knockout.
All right. You touched on a lot of points that I wanted to touch on. So this is pretty much a classic grappler versus striker. Even though Kevin Holland can grapple, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt under Travis Lutter, and Travis Lutter don't just give those out. So knowing that he got it from him, he definitely earned it. Chiesa, I feel like this is like make or break for him because he's been at the top of the division. He's been like 1 fight away from a title shot. He's been injury plagued a lot throughout his career, with backs and knees and whatnot. But he's definitely a wrestler. This is his weight class for a while. Kevin Holland, he actually came down, dropped the weight class. He was not a middleweight. Yeah, he was a middleweight. He dropped down. He dropped down for a while. He'd been undefeated at this weight class except for Stephen Thompson. I feel like usually when Michael Chiesa get his takedowns, which he's definitely going to be searching for, he don't really shoot in like that. It's usually from like a grappling, like grab you up against the cage, get a body lock, and go ahead and get heavy on you and bring you down. Kevin Holland in the past at middleweight has had problems with guys laying on top of him, couldn't really get him off. But I feel like now that he's at his right weight class, he won't be as easy to hold down. He definitely is a striker. He has power. He's accurate. He got almost kind of got like a little karate style, like the way he his stance is bladed. I don't know who to pick in this one. Kevin Holland is younger. He has way more upside. I think he only like 26, whereas Michael Chiesa, like I feel like he kind of got 1 foot in, 1 foot out because he already doing commentary. But I would like to see Kevin Holland win, but I feel like if Michael Chiesa can get his hands on him, I could see Michael Chiesa taking this fight to a decision. I do think Kevin Holland's jiu-jitsu is good enough to not get submitted by Michael Chiesa. So I'll go Michael Chiesa decision, and I hope I'm wrong.
Hey, what ranking by Chiesa? I can't see it.
Say what about him?
He's 12.
Number 12. And you said he was out for 3 years?
Yeah, he it would have been 2.5, but when he scheduled his last fight, his opponent pulled out. But yeah, he had like ruptured discs in his back, and then he had a knee problem during COVID. He went to go get the knee fixed, and he got the doctor malpracticed on him, and he thought his career was over then. He thought his career was over with the ruptured discs. But listening to him talk, he said this is the least time he spent in the physical therapy room at the PI, and like in a long time. So he's saying he's healthy, but ain't that what they always say?
Why is he ranked number 12?
Because he got some key wins under his belt. I mean, he dropped significantly. He wasn't.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he was ranked a lot higher. I think I don't remember what his highest ranking was. I'm gonna say maybe 6 or 7 or something like that.
No,
but
his highest ranking was 3. Because remember he fought Kevin Holland for the not Kevin Holland. He fought Kevin Lee for the to see who was gonna get a title shot.
Yeah. Okay.
So wait a minute. Well, hold on. He haven't fought in 3 years. And here's the guy that he's fighting is coming off of a win. And the guy who's been out of the game for 3 years is ranked higher. Well, the guy he's fighting isn't even ranked, but he's ranked higher than the guy that just had a fight 2 months ago and won.
Kevin,
you gotta think.
Fights ago, he lost by submission, and plus he wasn't always at welterweight. He dropped down in his division.
Yeah, this is probably his 4th fight at welterweight, and at welterweight, I think he is 2-1. Before he won that fight, he lost to Stephen Thompson.
I'm just saying, man. 3 years. That's man. You gotta be pretty badass to stay in the top 15 though, and you ain't done it for 3 years.
Hey Trevor, to your point though, one reason why he's still ranked is because he's a grappler. He's not like I feel like because he a grappler, he's not a striker. You know, if he was a striker and you take 3 years off, that's more detrimental as opposed to being a grappler and taking 3 years off, in my opinion.
Elaborate on that, bro.
All right, because grappling, it kind of I feel like your grappling do with you longer.
Hey, Bones.
Because striking, your power can fade, your speed can fade. But if you're, bro, like, trust me, doing jiu-jitsu, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be young and spry, but then if you got that old vet, it doesn't matter because grappling is grappling, and you're not going to lose like your feel grappling. You know, it's kind of hard to explain, but
what weight classes? What weight classes Gaethje and Poirier?
Lightweight.
Go ahead, bro. Or are you finna say?
Lightweight.
I was gonna say I feel like it should be performance based. Because if you like, regardless of your skill set, like if you haven't put it to use, you get what I'm saying. Then it should I feel like it should be performance based. Because if you look at Stipe, he was out for 1.5 years, and then he just completely fell out of the top 15.
So you agree with me?
Yeah, that's going from losing the belt to like his last fight was a championship fight because he brought the belt with him. So it was a championship fight. He lost that fight. Inactivity for He's just now finna fight. I think it's been like 2 years, but after a year and a half, he was out of the rankings. And now that he's fighting John Jones, they threw him back in as number 2, which is crazy.
Hey, that's promotional booking right there, boy. And that's I often to get to that too. I think there's another reason too why they don't want to take Kiesa out of the rankings because you want to use him if he's gonna lose to get that rub to somebody else. Like, oh look, he beat
That makes sense.
for 12. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. But you know me, I'm old school. I like meritocracy.
All right, so our next bout, I've heard this guy before. We have in the lightweight bout, we have Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. Bobby Green looked like he just got out of prison.
And
he's a
Tony
heavy,
Ferguson,
heavy favorite.
Yeah, it's crazy. Tony Ferguson, the greatest lightweight of all time at one time, in my opinion. Nobody has ever topped his 12 fight win streak. The only person to have 12 fights, wins, all finishes, and not get an undisputed title shot. He fought Justin Gaethje and hasn't been the same since. He's lost 5 in a row. Out of those 5, I feel like the last 3 were finishes. He looked very good against Michael Chandler, and then he got punted in the face, and that became a meme. And after that fight, I said I don't want to see him fight no more because it's kind of heartbreaking. Like, I'm a big Tony Ferguson fan, and the damage that he takes, he's always taking damage in fights, but he always finished and won. But Bobby Green, he's never in a boring fight. He's more of a striker. Tony Ferguson is a very unorthodox striker, and he has elite level front chokes like darces and guillotines and triangles and stuff like that. Bobby Green, he's a striker. He's gonna talk shit to you the whole time, kind of like Kevin Holland. And regardless of the image, he comes across as like an extremely positive person. This should be, if this fight was on any other card, it would have fight of the night potential. But you got Gaethje and Poirier on there, so you can cancel that. I'm interested to see how Tony Ferguson looks. He seems like he's remotivated. And believe it or not, last second change, I feel like I'm gonna go with Tony Ferguson for the win. I feel like Bobby Green is faster. He's a great boxer, but I just feel like Tony Ferguson has way more tools, and I can see him pulling off a win.
This fight I'm very torn over because I'm a big fan of both of them, and then both are coming off of losing streaks, like pretty bad losing streaks too. Because
Nah, not Bobby Green.
Bobby Green, his last fight was against Drew Dober, right?
Nah, his last fight was against who was the guy that beat
Yeah, but
that
right?
beat your boy Patty?
Who?
Jordan, the guy that beat Patty Pimblett, but he got robbed.
Yeah, Jared Gordon.
Jared Gordon, yeah, his last fight was him, and then before that it was Drew Dober, and before that I think it was Ally Quinton.
Makachev, and then he knocked out Iaquinta, Makachev, Dober, and then Jared Gordon.
All right, so he 2-2 in his last 4.
Yeah, even the Jared Gordon with the headbutt thing, that was
That
like
was a no contest.
Yeah, that was a weird fight. But Bobby Green, I'm a big fan of him. I do like him more. You know, I like Tony Ferguson just because I'm more of a fan. But Tony really need this. Like, I feel like if you don't get this one, then he basically done. And I don't want to. I feel like he's the kind of fighter too. If he get cut by the UFC, unfortunately, we'll see him somewhere else, like in Bare Knuckle or something like that. Or PFL.
I didn't even see that.
I can, it's because he just like this is all he knows. And at one point, he was, like my brother said, the best lightweight. At the time, I always wanted to see that fight between him and Khabib because he would have beat Khabib. I'm gonna stand by that too. But anyway, Ferguson, he's very unorthodox. and he real fluid too, like the way he be throwing his punches and everything. I feel like this can be fight of the night because I feel like the main event, I'll get to that later, but it's not even gonna go to the end. But I feel like this might be fight of the night. I'm gonna go with Tony Ferguson, the one by decision. Um, he just got to be careful and don't be like too comfortable in the octagon. I feel like and let his guard down.
Hey, one thing I could say is Tony Ferguson still has his chin, and Bobby Green isn't necessarily a power puncher. He's more of a volume guy. But let me ask you this. So I heard an interesting fact. You know, UFC contracts are usually for 3 fights, maybe 5 fights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And very rarely I've only known 2 people to sign 8 fight deals. So with that being said, Tony has lost 5 in a row. So where would that put his contract? Because I mean, he didn't get re-signed recently, and he's saying that he's feeling like he's in his prime and he gonna win 5 fights and then the title and then that's it. He not retiring. But I mean, so do you think he signed an 8 fight deal, or do you think because I mean, I doubt they re-signed him on a losing streak because usually 3 and you out. You feel me?
yeah. I don't think he did that. I don't think.
So you think he on an 8 fight deal?
Yeah, I think so. But and if he is, then I mean he probably only got maybe 1 or 2 more fights left at the most. I would say.
Not counting this one because this would be number 6 in a row, unless this is his last one because we don't know when he re-signed or whatnot. But so yeah, like if you lose this fight, especially in brutal fashion, then it's like I feel like somebody should pull him to the side and talk to him because
Well, bro, unfortunately, he's not that kind of fighter. I feel like we both already established that he just gonna keep fighting and fighting and fighting way past his time. You know.
if
All
that's
right.
the case, then this will be the saddest version of that I've ever seen
This
personally.
this this is where I come in because y'all going down my alley. Who's the person there to save him from himself? Because he's probably gonna get creamed
Well,
tomorrow night.
like Dana White has publicly saved people like Chuck Liddell. He publicly said, "I'm not letting Chuck fight again." And then what did Chuck do? He went and fought Tito and got knocked out by Tito. You know, in some random ass MMA.
Another promotion,
Feel
yeah.
me? Huh?
That's and another promotion.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes there have been instances where Dana has saved a person from themselves, and I feel like he won't do it. Maybe he might do it at the press conference, but I feel like he'll be the one to set Tony to the side, you know, and tell him like, look, like I appreciate what you did for us, but and he'll probably offer him, you know, a role inside the company because, like my brother said, he was on a 12-fight winning streak, and he actually won the interim UFC lightweight championship against Kevin Lee, and he was supposed to fight Khabib 3 different times. And I guess just fate just didn't want them to fight each other because literally he tripped over a wire like the day before the fight or a few days before the fight and couldn't fight him no more.
As
So
far as AC. And I'll say this, like Trevor said, like Dana White can stop him from fighting in the UFC, but he can't stop him from. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm hearing some whoom noise.
All right, yeah, I was saying Dana White can stop him from fighting in the UFC, but he can't stop him from seeking out employment elsewhere. And it shows you that he was definitely in their good graces to be on a 5 fight win streak. Granted, all to upper echelon fighters, but and he looked good in the Chandler fight, but usually he would have been cut by now. And all I can say to that is you have to be willing to participate in your own rescue, or else you're unsavable. And because he has the name Tony Ferguson, if he still wants to fight, somebody's gonna try to make money off that name.
So is there any commission? Like me and Venkat just had this whole long thing Monday about people saving in and stepping in and saving the athlete because these athletes like to die on their shield. They think they're invincible until they end up dying in the ring or dying on the field, and then their families want to sue sue the promotion. I think at some point, because you're not going to stop a warrior from being a warrior, just like any regular working man. I mean, I'm in all type of pain now, but I still get up at 5 o'clock every morning and go to work every day, even when I probably shouldn't. So how much more for a championship level fighter that they'd rather die in the ring than to be like, you know what, it's time to wrap it up. Does the UFC have like producers like WWE has producers? So if a guy transitions from the ring, he now becomes a backstage agent. They don't do that here, huh?
Yeah, I meant to say that too. I feel like I said, they'll offer him that job to be a commentator or to be an analyst or whatever, whatever it is. But I don't think he want to do that though. I think he'll turn that down and go somewhere else because the UFC won't let him fight again.
And they would do it under the conditions that you don't fight anymore too. Like you can't do this here and go fight somewhere else. So like, yeah, they've done that, and as you can see, a lot of times now, like they've stepped away from hiring broadcast journalists, and they'll hire one broadcast journalist and just have that person flanked by two former fighters or two current fighters. So they're trying to give fighters careers after fighting, so you can be like, here, you're still close to the sport, but you're just not participating. But that's not good enough for some people.
All right.
I feel like, unfortunately, I feel like back in the day, the boxing commission, would step in and say boxing and stuff like that. But with the way that the celebrity entertainment thing is now, and these crazy fights that they got with celebrities versus real athletes, I feel like they'll be more willing to let them fight nowadays. Like Tony Ferguson versus Logan Paul type thing, you know what I'm saying? Or KIS.
You got a point. I didn't think about that.
So we're gonna see Logan Paul in WWE. Okay. I mean, we're gonna see Tony Ferguson in WWE. Okay.
No, you talking about boxing.
Oh,
you know how the Paul brothers be boxing and whatnot. So
yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna call this match for you. This is what we like to call a big beefy son of a bitch match. In this heavyweight bout, you got number 10 ranked Derek Lewis against number 15 Marcos Rogerio de Lima. These two bastards look like they're not going past the first round, and somebody is going to get knocked the F out.
Especially at altitude, they don't want to go past the first round. Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, he's on a 3-fight skid. Rogerio de Lima is on like a 3-fight win streak. I feel like this is make or break for Derek Lewis. And again, another fight where I can't call it. I could see it going either way. But there was a point in time where fights like this, you know what's gonna happen. Derek Lewis gonna come in and he gonna knock him out in the first round, because that's generally what he does. But he got the most knockouts in heavyweight history. Rogerio de Lima is kind of on the come up. He had stamina issues, but I see him getting better in that area. I don't really got too much of a breakdown for this. This is just two strikers, two heavyweights that's gonna go in there and do heavyweight things. So I'm gonna go with Derek Lewis for the knockout. And if he can't knock out this guy, then they should let him go too.
I feel pretty confident in this fight. It's going to go this way right here. It's going to start. Derek Lewis finna come in. He going to drop De Lima or rock him pretty good, and then he going to rush in, and he going to get dropped himself. And then he's either going to get TKO'd or he's going to get the arm triangle, because his ground game is horrendous. He's definitely going to rock him, and then De Lima's going to take him down, most likely, and submit him. And I see all that happening in the first round.
I will give that to you. I feel like if someone goes down, whoever ends up on top is going to win the fight.
Hey, but I mean, we all want to see Derek Lewis get an amazing knockout, because he got like the best post-fight victory speeches that the MMA game has seen.
Is he the one that says his balls is hot?
My balls hot.
Yep.
So
hey, Ronda Rousey, where you at with your fine ass? Come get with a real man after he knocked out Travis Brown.
Which is her husband. Oh, that was so nasty.
That's
Oh,
crazy. I gotta go look that up now. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. So can you guys see the winner of this fight getting the shot at Jones? The winner of Jones Stipe?
nope.
Hell no.
No. Hey, look. All right, look. You got Tom Aspinall need to fight Sergey Pavlovich for the number one contender to see, or you can just give it to Sergey straight up because really he
Hey,
deserves.
when
But
Tom Aspinall won that fight, you see who name he didn't say.
yeah, I know.
He said
But
the winner of Gon. He want to fight the winner of Gon versus Sergey Spivak, and then after he beat that person, he want to fight John Jones. But you already beat Spivak, and Gon is like an easier matchup for you. Meanwhile, Sergey done knocked out 6 heavyweights in a row, all in under 6 minutes in the first round. So it's
he deserved it.
like call out that guy. That's the path to the title right there.
So to answer your question, Trevor, it's at least 4 guys that's more deserving of a title shot, despite who win this fight.
I mean, they'll never get it because the champion haven't defended his belt since March, and he ain't going to defend it until November, hopefully. So, I mean, there may never be another heavyweight championship fight in the UFC.
And it's a good chance that after that fight, the championship is vacant because I feel like Stipe is going to retire. I feel like Stipe is going to retire and win or lose, and John Jones already talking about retirement, but
Look at that.
now he's entertaining this Tom Aspinall fight. So I mean, we'll see.
Look at that. That, like, come on, man. That's what I'm saying. But we just say I ain't even gonna bring it up. But that's what I'm saying, man. Like, and John Jones is John Jones is my favorite fighter. So ain't no indictment on him, but the champion should have to defend his belt at least quarterly. You can't go 8 months between a title fight if you're not injured. Like, that's crazy.
Meanwhile, Adesanya and Volkanovski just defend their belts like 4 times a year. And by the way, this fight right here is scheduled to be the last prelim, so it's going to be a free fight. So if you want to check it out, you probably can. Like, I don't know why they put
this
it right
one?
now. Yeah, the heavyweight fight.
Oh,
I don't
shit.
know why.
Yeah.
This is not in order. That's the other prelim we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I want to. Oh yeah, I got to watch this because I'm telling you, this not going past the first round, and I'm gonna call it. This is over at 2.5 minutes in the first round.
And you might be right. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
One of these boys going to sleep. Because one thing I know about Derek Lewis, he rushes you like a bull, and man,
Yep.
if you can't withstand that, you out of there.
Yep.
But I remember when he fought DC and he got humbled really, really good.
Yeah, because if you could take him down, then it's like you got him.
Let me sidebar here real quick because I'm the king of sidebar. We gonna realize how great of a fighter DC was. Just think about that. DC was so dominant. He just couldn't beat John Jones, but besides that, nobody could beat John Jones. But this guy was so dominant because I don't think anybody had him beating Derek Lewis. And I forget when that fight was announced, everybody was like, "Oh man, Derek gonna smash him," because at the time Derek was smashing everybody.
Yep.
And even that fight where he had with Stipe, where he knocked Stipe out, it's like, damn, nobody expected that from DC. I think we look at the fact that he could never beat John Jones, but everybody got their kryptonite. Like, he could just never beat John Jones, but you take John Jones out of the equation, DC might be known as one of the greatest UFC fighters ever. Like,
Yeah, I wasn't a DC fan because I'm such a John Jones fan, so I was so into that rivalry. But when he beat Stipe, he earned my respect. And then hearing him retire and be an analyst and commentate, he earned my respect even more. Like, I love hearing him commentate because he breaks stuff down. And he even got a show on ESPN, or a little series on ESPN. I forgot what it's called. Or he'll take
called Detail.
Yeah, Details. Thank you. And he'll break it down. And it's like, you can't watch something like that and not respect him.
Yeah, he definitely has a great mind for the sport, a very high fight IQ, especially when it comes to the grappling. And like you said, Trevor, I always say that if there was no such thing as John Jones, DC would be the John Jones. And not to mention, a lot of people don't know when he fought that fight against Derek Lewis, he was fresh off of back surgery and a hand surgery. He couldn't use his right hand, so he literally couldn't throw punches with his right hand.
Wow.
That's why he was so quick to take him down, because he knew he couldn't stand up with him.
It's crazy though that he could never, like, bro, like the kryptonite that I remember when he lost that first fight to John Jones, he was crying. Like you could look in his eyes, man. He just felt like he let the whole world down because he was talking all that crap. And then when Jones just took him to school, he was just like, damn, man, the look on his face. I'm like, man, I felt so bad for the man. He could just never beat John Jones. Just never.
And John Jones is the only person to ever take him down. He only been taken down once in his MMA career, and that was by John Jones.
And now you're talking about John Jones just coming back off of what, a 2 or 3 year layoff, and now he's gonna retire again.
Yeah, he took that time off to beef up, he said, for the heavyweight division.
And I bet you John Jones makes more than Adesanya and the other guy you were saying. Who, Aljamain?
No, I was saying Volkanovski, but I don't know if he probably made more than Adesanya. But Adesanya, I bet, put more asses in seats.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, trust me.
I already broke that. I already broke the numbers down to you. We had this conversation last show, remember?
Yeah, but trust me, trust me. Adesanya is the cash cow right now.
Actually, hold on, because as we doing this, I remember we got in this conversation. We were supposed to look at the buy rate for UFC because we got into the whole superstar.
Yeah, 290.
Yeah, so it was 290. I want to see. So let's see what the buy rate was. So the UFC 290 buy rate that generated 10 million in tickets.
Which I think is really where they try to make their money now because of the model. But and I feel like that's why them tickets are so damn expensive now, because they weren't always as expensive as they are now.
Yeah, let me see. Pay-per-view buys. All right. Yeah, they're not giving me the number yet, so that mean they didn't. That mean they still haven't counted it yet.
2 weeks ago,
and it's probably still for sale. Like probably tomorrow you'll be able to get it, because like right now, like even if you don't order it the night of, like you can still buy it right now to watch it. But once this pay-per-view come on, then tomorrow you'll be able to watch that main card on ESPN. So once they make it available and free, then they'll probably give those numbers out.
This is saying it did 290 did pretty good. It's saying an estimated 800K. That's really good. Because I was, huh?
What was the Jones one?
The Jones one was over $1 million.
Over $1 million buys?
Yeah. But
okay.
But remember, I was saying that this was only going to be like 600,000 or 700,000. They got it estimated at 8.
Yeah.
Now, see this card right here, 291. I think it's going to do horrible as far as buys, because it just so happens to be on the same night as Spence versus Crawford.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that later.
Yeah, but that's a really good buy rate though. Well, I mean, it ain't official, but it's estimated, so it's probably about 700,000, which is still more than what I said, because I said it was going to be 6. But that's a really, really good buy rate for a non-superstar card. Like that's really, really good.
I don't know, like that whole superstar thing. I feel like we'll have that debate to death, because it was superstars on that card, in my opinion. You feel me?
It's just that you don't recognize them because you're not into the MMA game. You know,
you need to come by a Wednesday show and see the breakdown of what a superstar did. So by the way, hold on, let's sidebar. I don't want to hear nobody in this bullshit biasness about me again, talking about I'm biased against AEW. Because the way I broke down, I'm gonna tell you, as a matter of fact, the way I broke down that AEW card, I want to say that was better than anything I've ever done, as far as with the exception of WrestleMania. And I did that all out of my head. WrestleMania, I took notes.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised that I gave you your props. Like me and Janet was listening to that, and we were like, "What? You said some good shit about AEW? What?"
Yeah, I give you props too, Trevor. I got nothing bad to say. I'm proud of it.
That was very unbiased of you.
Well, I probably won't watch it tomorrow night, but I will be watching the main event for tomorrow night. But anyway, we'll have to deal with that next week. So damn, we already at the co-main, huh?
Yep.
So the co-main, you got a light heavyweight bout. I'm hearing some echo, some mumbling. You got a light heavyweight bout between number 2, Alex Pereira, versus number 3, Jan Blankowicz. I feel
Yeah,
like I heard Pereira recently too.
that's Adesanya's foe right there. That's his nemesis. That's why you heard him.
Okay. God, they're evenly matched. It's only a 10, like a 10-point differential here.
All right. Poll time. Alex Pereira against Jan Blachowicz, the former UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. All right. This fight is extremely intriguing for me because Poatan, Alex Pereira, he was a huge middleweight. Like we all said that damn, like he needed to move up to light heavyweight eventually. Um, he had his little feud out of Sonya. We know how that went, and he's moving up now to take on the former champion in Jan Blachowicz. Pereira got some nasty stand up ability. Like his left foot is devastating. And I was watching the Countdown and Embedded series, and he's actually eating the way he wants to now. So I feel like, you know, regardless of what any fighter says, by you cutting so much weight, you can't. There's no way you can restore your energy to its fullest potential. When you got to cut so much weight, and he was down there killing himself. I feel like trying to get to 185. So now that he's at 205, he can be more free with his diet, and he's just gonna be putting on muscle. And I feel like he's just gonna be, he's more relaxed now, and he's not. He got more energy. Um, Jan, I'm not gonna sleep on Jan. We all picked Adesanya to beat him when he fought Adesanya, and he, beat Adesanya. A lot of people picked him to lose against Luke Rockhold, and he caught him with a nasty hook and knocked him out nasty. I always love him for that. Even against Dominic Reyes, people were sleeping on Jan and picked him to lose that fight, and he knocked out Reyes, and I always love him for that too. And that's how he got the belt. With that being said, Jan is more well-rounded, and for him to win this fight, he's going to have to get Pereira up against the cage a little bit and make it dirty and use clinch work, and more than likely take him down and make Pereira fight off of his back. Even though Pereira is a good jiu-jitsu person, so they say, I feel like Jan, if he's on top and he's in his guard, he can, stifle him a little bit, and he can eke out some rounds. So, I can see Jan probably winning, because it's a 3-round fight. So I could see him probably winning rounds 1 and 2 maybe, and then in the third round, Pereira catch him and probably knock him out. But if I have to pick, I'm gonna go with the underdog here, because despite the numbers, people are pretty much picking Poatan to win. I'm gonna take Yarn to win by decision, because I feel like he's gonna take him down and kind of make it more of a well-rounded fight than just a stand-up fight. Because if he just keep it standing, I feel like he's gonna get knocked out. So I feel like he's gonna use his well-roundedness and take him down. So I'm picking Yarn by decision.
Yeah, I had to mute your mic, Zay, because it was muffling a little too much.
Boy, oh boy, what a great fight. So many variables in this fight. First off, it's crazy to me that Pereira is number 2, and this is his first fight at light heavyweight. True enough, his last fight he lost the championship at middleweight, but still. So you look at that, and then you see, like you said, Israel was able to take him down, and like he showed a deficiency in the grappling, even though he trains with Glover Teixeira. He showed a deficiency in his grappling, but you got to wonder how much of that weight cut took effect, because apparently he walks around at 235. So to cut to 185 is just got to be some diminishing returns there. And so I don't know if it'll be as easy to hold down at this weight class, considering that he should be fully energized, and also I don't know how much that's going to play a factor in it. When you look at Jan Blachowicz, I feel like he's extremely underrated. Even as champion, he was underrated. But hey Bones, let me ask you this: do you remember Jan Blachowicz's last 2 losses?
His last 2 losses got to be Thiago Santos.
Whoa, hold on. Hold on. That noise. All right, go ahead. Nah, it was not you, Bones.
Oh, my bad. His last 2 losses is against Thiago Santos, and I'm not sure of the second person. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not sure who.
Glover.
Yeah,
Okay, now do you remember the finishing sequences in those fights?
against Thiago Santos, he was up against the cage and got caught with an uppercut, I believe, and he dropped to the ground, and Thiago pounded him out with some ground and pound. Against Glover, he was doing pretty decent on the feet. Somehow it got to the ground and Glover tapped him out.
All right, pretty close. Thiago Santos got him up against the cage, like you said, hit him with a left hook that dropped him. Glover and then pounded him out with ground and pound. Glover Teixeira got him up against the cage, hit him with a left hook that dropped him, and then submitted him. Poaton's best punch is a left hook.
Whew.
So I feel like he has the kryptonite for Jan Blachowicz as far as striking goes. Thing is, I don't know how much Jan is going to strike with him. Jan has the power, and again, it goes back to that weight cut because Adesanya was able to rock Poatan in that first UFC fight, and then he knocked him out in the second UFC fight. And so I don't know if that's a weight cut issue or what, but I'm definitely like I'll bet anything that Jan hits harder than Adesanya. So that being said, I could see both of these guys knocking each other out, but I could also see Jan taking him down and submitting him, especially if he gets his back. And if he don't submit him, I could see him grounding him out on the ground. So that being said, I feel like Poatan only has one way to win, and that's by knockout or keeping it standing. I feel like Jan has more paths to victory. And also, Poatan is a great leg kicker. He tore Izzy's calves up in the first fight, and then pretty early in that second fight. But Jan Blachowicz he probably has the best kick defense in the UFC, which is also slept on. I mean, like he's willing to go shin to shin with you, and like he got shins of steel. If you look at his last fight against Ankalaev, like Ankalaev hurt himself kicking Jan's shins, and then Jan went to kicking him. He almost finished him with leg kicks, sort of Gaethje-esque. But so I don't know. It's a lot of variables in this fight. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. A lot of questions will be answered. I'm looking at Jan Blachowicz to. I mean, I honestly don't even want to pick this fight, but I'm gonna jump off the fence and I'm gonna just go Jan Blachowicz. But either way, the fight that comes after this is a dream fight because the winner is gonna fight Yuri Prochazka, who actually never lost his title. I feel like this weight class has been disastrous lately because the last 2 champs lost their belts without even fighting. They had to vacate them due to injuries. So I feel like John Jones looking at his old weight class like, yeah, man, I left y'all shit in shambles.
Hey, bro. So I got a question.
What's up?
Leg kick defense. Do you think that? I mean, I know his leg kick defense is good, but do you think that it's good enough to withstand Poaton's leg kicks? Because he don't eat it. Anybody else leg kick? Yeah, I can see it, but Poatan, bro, like at 205 too. I don't think he want to just check him
I
and
don't
go.
know. That's what I'm willing to see. I'm ready to see if he got an answer to those leg kicks, and if he got an answer to that left hook. And also, you got to think too, Poatan. I mean, don't sleep on Blachowicz striking because Poatan does keep his hands low.
Yeah, that is true.
So I mean, like I don't. It's gonna be something to see. Like I'm really interested in this. And just a little fun fact: between the 4 fighters in the co-main and main event, 29 knockouts.
Damn.
So let me ask you a question, because you kind of jumped the gun for the next question I was going to ask. Who's the current champion?
There is no current. Once this fight starts, there will be no champion. But Jamal Hill was the champion, and he just had to vacate because he ruptured his Achilles playing basketball.
So who's the number one ranked light heavyweight?
Yuri Prochazka.
Yuri
Okay,
Prochazka, he vacated his title due to a real bad shoulder injury, and then they had a vacant title match between Glover, which is who trains Pereira, and Jamal Hill, and Jamal Hill won that belt. Jamal Hill been looking for a fight, trying to defend his belt, but they said that Yuri was coming back in the fall, so they was gonna have those two to fight. Since Yuri technically never lost his belt, they was gonna put him right back in there against the current champ, and then whoever won that was gonna be unquestionably undisputed champ. But now Jamal Hill injured himself, so now they're telling Yuri, okay, we'll just make this a number one contenders fight. Which, now that I say that, that's probably why they gave Pereira that too. We'll make this a number one contenders fight, and the winner will fight you, and we'll still keep our word to you. And as far as that goes, whenever Jamal Hill come back, he get the first crack. He never got beat for his belt. This is a whole mess. It's like a web of bullshit.
Okay, because I was gonna say, why not just make the winner of this fight the interim champion?
Because you have to make it a 5-round fight, and you don't want to do that on short notice because they've been training for a 3-round fight, so it would be unfair to the competitors unless they both decide on it. But no, because Jamal Hill just got injured and vacated the belt as recently as I think 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it just happened. And I mean, in my opinion, if I was a fighter training for a 3-round fight, I wouldn't want to change it to a 5-round fight in 2 weeks, because that's a whole nother training camp right there.
And again, I'm just I'm thinking about when I used to watch this heavy, the light heavyweight division was so awesome. Like, it had your Rampage, it had Rashad, it had Shogun, had everybody over there.
Yep, Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, Randy Couture.
Yeah, the light heavyweight division was damn near better. It was better than the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Again, I see y'all bringing it out of me. every show we're gonna have this superstar conversation, but I'm not gonna even do it this time. But it just because you guys are the ones telling us how good this card is going to be, and you know, I'm not going to dispute it just because of your breakdown. So you guys actually obviously know, you know, it's just like me saying the Dolphins is going to win the Super Bowl this year. You got to kind of take what I say.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm gonna let you have that one.
You had
Shit. Oh boy, I had a picture ready to go, but I lost it for some reason, because I was just
we just picture Jalen Ramsey.
Huh?
I say you lost the picture, kind of like losing your star cornerback.
Hey, he'll be back. He'll be back. He ain't gonna miss more than like 2 weeks in the season. He'll be all right. He'll be back.
2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah, well, he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. Season don't start in September, so he'll be rehabbing before the season starts, and so he'll probably miss like the first 2 to 3 weeks of the season.
That's good though, because I want y'all to have Jalen with y'all.
Yeah, we got the rookie, man. Kehu is off.
Yeah, I don't like to see teams hobble into games like at half strength. I wish you could take injuries off like Madden, because
which, by the way, I do when I play Madden or franchise mode. I take injuries off.
Truly the best team.
Yeah, I'll leave them on, but I mean, my quarterback don't get touched, so I think I may only got sacked twice.
But you got it on rookie?
No, man, why you keep saying that? It's like riding a bike. It's literally like riding a bike. I haven't played Jada God saying when is Tony Ferguson fighting on this card. I haven't played a video game since 2003. So that was 20 years ago. So when I got Madden on the PS5, it took me a while to get used to the controls, but I still can't kick. I don't understand. I'm okay. I'm able to kick kickoffs now without kicking them out of bounds, but as far as field goes, I'm still not hitting them at all. But it took me a while to get used to the controls, and then when I did, I was able to, but I got the two fastest receivers in the NFL, so I just blow the top off of the defense all the time. So, I'm in week 8 and Tua already got like 30 touchdowns. I was like, come on, man. He averaged like 400 yards a game.
Hey, you got to get it some kind of way.
Hey, but it's funny though, because y'all pick on him, but before he got hurt, he was leading the NFL in every category pretty much.
No, hey, I'll admit I wasn't a Tua fan. I'm not going to get into that whole diatribe because I got a whole story as to why I'm not a big fan of him. But he did prove me wrong last year, and as long as he stays healthy, he is a good quarterback, better than what I expected. But the question is, will he stay healthy?
I hope so, man. I hope so. I would have loved to see how last season would have went had he stayed healthy.
Me too.
Zay, somebody named Godfrey saying, "What's up?" I don't know if you can see the chat.
Yo, what's up, Godfrey?
So let's get to the main event. One thing I did want to say before we get to the main event, going back to the fight that I saw, their first fight. So, what would have happened? There was 2 eye pokes in that match. What would have happened had Poirier couldn't continue?
Rule to no contest.
Okay. And they probably just would have ran it back eventually.
Yep.
So now my next question is taking 1 point good enough for like damn near trying to poke a man's eye out? Even though it was inadvertent, but Herb Dean kept telling them you're like having your hands open the whole time.
Yeah, because I think Justin Gaethje, the first person I seen do this was John Jones. He fight with his hands open, so that way when you're trying to strike, he'll like hit your hands down and hold your hands kind of, and then hit you with an elbow, hit you with a hook, something like that, which is honestly a very effective technique. Only problem is with the MMA gloves, it's kind of hard to do that and not poke your opponent in the eye. Which if John Jones, he has poked his opponents in the eye a couple times too. But yeah, there was a fight recently in UFC Jacksonville. I believe it was Justin Tapa versus Austin Lane, and that fight ended in the eye poke. So they're going to run that fight back coming up soon too. To give you an example.
Jay to God, the fight is tomorrow, not tonight, because he's saying it's 7:09 in Utah, so they got 2 hours. No, the fight is tomorrow night.
It'll be tomorrow night, pay-per-view, 10 p.m. is the start time for the main card.
But so yeah, again, going back to this,
you know, I'm gonna let you miss it.
So I guess it'll be 7 p.m. Your time.
The prelims start at 6:30 our time, 6:30, and then but it's probably gonna be 7. I noticed they always say 30 minutes before it actually start.
So going back to this first fight again though, when I thought so Gaethje had the home field advantage because I guess they were fighting in Arizona, so it was his hometown, so the crowd was kind of deflated when he lost. But do you think, okay, so we just by what I saw, and I didn't have to see anything else of him, all I had to do was watch that one fight to know that his whole thing is, and the commentators kept saying it, he loves to have his opponent punch themselves out, which Poirier throwing all those punches, you saw him getting gassed progressively going through. So It was two things. He was punching himself out, plus those devastating leg kicks is what was destroying him. But Gaethje taking that type of approach, getting hit that many damn times in the head, is that can't be good. Like, I mean, you guys are telling me that he's good and he's ranked, high hell, he's in the main event. That can't be good getting hit that many times. Is that always his approach to a fight?
Yes, and to your, he even said that he's not going to be fighting forever. He's not going to be fighting like too much longer. So he's not going to be like Tony Ferguson and keep going until he damn near brain dead. You know what I'm saying? So Justin Gaethje probably only got a few more fights, and if he don't win the belt, then he definitely only got maybe 2 or 3 more fights in him. If he win the belt, he gonna defend that belt till he lose it. He literally got death before dishonor tattooed on him. Like that's his mantra. That's what he lived by, and that's pretty much him.
Hey Trevor, did you peep when he was in the round in between rounds? He asked his corner. He said, "Did I win that round?" And
Yeah,
then
they told
Trevor
him, don't
was
worry
like,
about the round.
"You're gonna break this guy anyway."
Yeah, they told him, don't worry about the round. You're gonna break him
And he
down.
said,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna break this motherfucker." That's what he does. He breaks people, and it's crazy because like they call him the highlight for a reason. But yeah, he's a marauder. He's gonna come in. He's gonna take one to give one, take 2 to give one, leg kicks, pressure, 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 pressure. Keep coming forward until eventually you wilt. I've seen him get destroyed in first rounds, like when he fought Fiziev and when he fought Michael Johnson. I've seen him get destroyed and then just come back and finish you. And if you look at that little, I sent you something in our chat, a comparison between the two.
Yeah.
Since they both fought each other, they're both 6-2. Those 2 losses came to the same people, and they lost to those people the same way. They both lost to Charles Oliveira and Khabib Nurmagomedov. They both got submitted in those fights. They're the same age. They were both interim lightweight champions. They both had 3 championship fights under their belt. It's just a lot of similarities to these guys, man. I've been trying to look and find how many fight bonuses Dustin Poirier got. I can't find them, but Gaethje in 11 UFC fights got 11 bonuses. So that just goes to tell you, like, anytime he's on the card, like, this is the fight that you need to see. Is probably going to be fight of the night because he's going to make it fight of the night.
But again, how old is he?
That I'm not sure. I think they're both like 34.
So he's fairly young. Like, what? I mean, the effects of all the hits can't be good.
It can't be good, and that's why they said that if this fight goes 5 rounds, it'll be like last time. We'll see each other in the hospital, and we could talk about it then. Because even like this fight right here is for the BMF title, which kind of like has a little pro wrestling smell to it, but that's a whole other thing. They both this could very well be for the most violent man in the UFC, the most violent person title, because they both bring violence, man. It's gonna be a car crash.
I'm ready to break this fight down, man.
So hold on. Again, because I don't know. I've been on this whole sentimental kick ever since I saw Chris Benoit's son the other day, and I'm just thinking about the head trauma. Like, this dude literally tells you to just hit him constantly and don't stop hitting him in the hopes that you're going to gas out. And then when that doesn't work and he sustains all this unnecessary damage to the head, like what? I mean, Jose fell off again.
I mean, to your point, like I said, he's not going to be fighting too much longer, and he already said that. So he recognized what you're saying, and he's taking that into account.
Yeah, that's my fault. I keep doing that, but yeah, he's not a fighter that you want to see fight for a long time. Like, me and the missus be talking about how, like, damn, like, I kind of worry about this guy when he get older, but I feel like he acknowledges it, and that's why he say he not trying to fight too much longer. He said his whole thing is he want to put on the show.
All right,
Honestly, I feel like if he lost this fight, then he could possibly like his last fight, he said he's making one more run at the title. So I feel like if he loses this fight, I wouldn't be surprised if he call it quits. They say he's extremely grounded. When he fought for the title, he asked Dana White, I just need you to make sure my parents are there. Like, and they say most people ask for like 50, 60 tickets because they want this person, that person, this person. He don't do after parties. When the fight is over with, he go to the hotel room with his family and order pizza. Like he not really like into all the hype and the glitz and the glamour. He just want to come do his job and that's it. I don't know if that's gonna add longevity, the fact that he don't party and whatnot, but it can't hurt.
All right, let's get into this. Let's get into breaking down this card. But I do have an emergency update. Fresh off the presses, Joe Burrow is expected to be sidelined for several weeks due to a calf injury.
Ooh, and we got them early.
Oh,
wow!
Yeah, I was just talking about. I want everybody to be 100% when they play.
This damn training, it's training camp, man.
That shit crazy.
It's training camp, and they're not even in pads yet.
Jesus Christ! Freaking crazy.
All right, let's break down this fight. Bones, who you got, and how does this shape out?
All right.
He finna answer you, but go ahead.
All right. So Justin Gaethje, to everything that Trevor was saying, and I heard everything he said. He toned it down a little bit, you know.
Hold on,
He's
you're
not the same
you're breaking up.
that
You're
fought.
breaking
You
up.
hear me?
You're breaking up.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah. Every time when we get to the end of the show, y'all mics always start doing this. Every time.
But yeah, I was saying that he's not the same fighter that fought Poirier before, and he's not going to have that same mentality. Like, he's not going to sit there and be like, all right, I'm gonna just wait for him to hit me and get tired, because you know how that turned out the first time. And like I said before, working with Trevor Whitman, he's just not going to have that same mentality. He's going to be more efficient. He's going to be more technical. He's still going to brawl, but you know, I would say Poirier might even get the first maybe round, 2 rounds, or within like the first 3 rounds. Poirier gonna win 2 of them, I would say. It's gonna be a back and forth fight. They're gonna rock and sock each other. I see both of them getting dropped once or twice, maybe. But overall, I'm gonna pick Gaethje to win. I think he's gonna knock Poirier out in the 4th round by TKO, and it's gonna be amazing. And it's gonna be knockout of the night, which will give Tony Ferguson the Bobby Green fight of the night.
So you got Gaethje winning this?
Yeah, I got Gaethje win TKO in the 4th round.
Hey, you know what I just realized right now?
What?
Hey, did Steven Thompson and Michelle Pereira get pulled from the card?
Oh shit. Yeah.
They did?
Yeah, that's why they elevated Derek Lewis fight to the main card.
Mothers. I just realized we didn't touch that fight yet. And when you said fight of the night, I was thinking that's another fight that could be fight of the night if it wasn't on this card.
Yeah, something must have happened.
Oh boy, that's disappointing. But yeah, as far as this fight goes, you got my favorite fighter, Dustin the Diamond Poirier, versus your favorite fighter's favorite fighter, Justin the Highlight Gaethje. That fight being pulled off the card kind of deflated me a little bit. But I just see straight up it's gonna be a war. It's gonna be a car crash. Both guys could definitely win this fight. I don't see it going. I pray for their sake that it don't go 5 rounds. I do want to get at least a good like 3 or 4 rounds in there just so I could be satisfied for my own personal selfish reasons. But both of these guys face adversity in every fight that they're in. Both of these guys have a tremendous heart. Ain't no quit in neither one of them. Poirier is definitely more technical. He's extremely, and I'm not just being biased, he's extremely accurate. He has like a 67% accuracy with his strikes. Justin Gaethje, damn near impossible to take down. I feel like if it does go to the ground, Poirier has pretty decent jiu-jitsu. So he could try to sub him. If you look at the last 2 times Gaethje was finished, he got submitted. But I guess you could say the same thing about Poirier. The last 2 times he got finished, he got submitted. I do think that I don't think that they're the same fighters as they were. They both improved from 5 years ago. I feel like it's going to be a close fight. They're both going to have their moments. I feel like one of them they have to get separated from consciousness. One thing I noticed about the last fight, I feel like the last fight I saw Gaethje in, he used his jab more. But I feel like because Dustin is a southpaw, that jab is not going to be as effective. I mean, he gonna go to the leg kicks, but I feel like I'm interested to see how much the leg kicks play a factor, because even though that was his bread and butter in the last fight, that's also what got him knocked out. Because if you look, every time he threw the kick, Dustin was trying to counter with that left, and when he landed that counter, like the finishing sequence in that fight was Gaethje throwing an inside leg kick and Dustin coming over the top with a counter left that pretty much just put him on stilts and wobbled him, and he went in for the kill. Poirier is that fighter that once he has you hurt, he brings calculated aggression. He doesn't just go crazy. He walk you down and kind of like throw punches and bunches, but they all calculated. I would like to see him go to the body more in this fight. I'm curious to see how the altitude is going to play a part in this fight because, like I said, Justin lives and trains at this altitude year round. Overall, though, I got Dustin by TKO or KO, 3rd or 4th round, repeat of last time. And it's pretty cool that the winner of this fight, I feel like you can't have 2 better people to fight for the BMF title. I feel like both of these guys embody that. I hear them both calling it a legacy fight. I feel like the winner of this, I would say, should fight Islam, but I feel like they both gonna need some time off for a minute. But I can't see the winner of this fight and the winner of Islam versus Oliveira for the title. But overall, I'm going Dustin Poirier, but I won't be surprised if he lost because I'm not sleeping on Justin Gaethje. It's like they're pretty much damn near the same fighter. It's just Gaethje's a little less technical. He's more of a brawler.
You know what I just realized?
Side note, Bones will be upset because he's a Poirier hater because he knocked out McGregor.
Yeah, and also he's your favorite fighter, so that too.
You know, I just realized there's no women's match on the main card.
Nah, it's not. It's only one women's match total, I think.
They're gonna start rioting. They're gonna pick it.
They said let the big boy play for a minute.
So on Wednesday's wrestling show, I started a new segment called "Would Things Be Different If?" And I'm just sitting here thinking that I'm gonna do that now on this show. It's not gonna be "Would Things Be Different If?" because this isn't scripted. What this new segment is gonna be, what's the craziest thing that could happen? That's what it's gonna be called. What's the craziest thing that could happen tomorrow? So like, just example, what's the one thing that cannot happen on this show tomorrow? Like if so you guys say, well, there's no message that you guys said that the person was absolutely not going to lose, but just in the event that that person got his ass kicked. So that's what I mean. Like what? Hey, what's up, Juju? Like what is absolutely not gonna happen?
I can tell you right now, the one thing that will not happen, the craziest thing that can happen is for Poatan, which translates to Hands of Stone, Alex Pereira. He will not submit Jan Blachowicz. He will not win that fight by submission.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because this isn't scripted, it's kind of hard. It's harder for me to be like, hey, would this happen if this didn't happen?
But to change your question, if you say what's one thing that cannot happen, is Tony Ferguson getting knocked out brutally, like within like the first couple seconds of the fight. That's the one thing that cannot happen.
I'm gonna tell you the one thing that cannot happen is that Derek Lewis and that other guy going the distance.
Yeah,
will never happen.
Yeah, that too. I can see that. That's definitely a fact.
Because worst case, even if there's no knockout, they just gonna gas out.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, look at that. We hit that 90-minute mark and finish. Look at that. Look at that.
Cool.
So real quick, just so everybody knows, these guys are planning on doing a weekly MMA show. We just got to kind of figure out how we're going to do it and what day we're going to do it, because slots are filling up fast over here. So we just got to figure out how we're going to do it. And it'll be a condensed show. It'll be like 30, 45 minutes just to go over the news of the week, so we don't fall behind. And then, you're 3 months behind trying to deliver news for something that's already gone. So just do a quick weekly show, kind of like what we do on Wednesdays. Wednesdays, I go over all the news of the week, and that's it.
It'll be a weekly update for fights that's being announced and injuries and people pulling out of fights and replacements and stuff like that.
Yeah. So as soon as we figure out a day.
Hey, two things. I think that there's money to be made on Tony Ferguson. If anybody out there, think about that, because he's a heavy underdog, and that kind of made me nervous a little bit in the aspect of thinking that he's gonna do something. And also, it's a major boxing fight that Saturday too, tomorrow night. Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford.
Not just a major boxing fight, historic. First time in welterweight history that they're going to unify the belts. Whoever walks out of that as the winner will be the first undisputed welterweight boxing champ who have like all the belts, WBO, IBF, et cetera, et cetera. Y'all know how boxing be. They got 4 champions in one weight class and whatnot. So, but, and I think that's going to affect the sales of this card. I don't think it's going to sell that good, because I feel like that boxing fight to the general public is way bigger deal. Yeah, I do agree with you. I'm saying there's money to be made on Tony Ferguson. When you look at the value, right? Yeah, that's one that if you should be inclined is to put some money on this card, like that's one that you should take your chances on. Low risk, high reward.
Well, there you have it. So I thank all you guys. I see you, new people. Official J to God, foodsotrav.com. Who else did I see in there? Zcam and Juju Pop. Juju must have just saw that I was live and came over here, because Juju doesn't normally show up for these type of shows like this. But I always appreciate the new viewers. Make sure and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And this channel, I say it once, I say it again, there's always something for everybody. On Wednesdays, we do a wrestling show called Wrestling with Reality, where we go over all the news of the week, and we touch on different topics and things like that. Ends up turning into a 3+ hour argument fest, but it's all good. Monday, we do have Man Talk Monday. If you did not check out this week's Man Talk Monday, please go and do so.
We touched on the pedophile culture in this community. We touched on the rape culture. We touched on child trafficking. Also, we made a few clips and put it on the channel that we pulled out of the show. So this coming Monday for Man Talk Monday, we'll be talking about the juvenile justice system and all our black boys that are being locked up. Tuesday, I think I'm having the Bible Brothers over on Tuesday to do another biblical presentation. The following Monday, we have a debate. Reginald Young versus a newcomer, Peter Cox. So just look on the channel, you'll see that. Next Friday is the debut of Straight Talk Sessions After Dark. What Straight Talk Sessions After Dark is, it's coming on at midnight, and it's just going to be like a show where you just not call in, or however you're going to do it, chime in with your ridiculous questions. I mean, there's going to be nothing limited. If it's sexual questions, whatever. And we're just going to break it down on an adult level because it will be late at night. So I know no kids will be listening. And we'll go from there. That show is, I'm only going to do that once a month just because I already got my plate full. Tape Fist Politics is going to start soon. So I am booked. Like literally something's going on every day. And then you still had to Pour Your Heart Out shows sprinkled in there. So yeah. So we got a lot going over here on the Straight Talk Society, man. So I'm glad to everybody that contributed, that decided to hop on and support the vision. And you know, I'm happy that we came over to this platform, and we just going to try to continue to grow this thing. But I'm very, very excited. Oh, and hell, this Sunday, we'll be going over this UFC 291 card on Sunday because we normally do the reviews on Sunday. So stay tuned to the channel for that time. Don't know what time that'll be yet, but we'll get it in this Sunday. So I think that's all I got. If there's anything else, just stay tuned to the channel because I post all the shows way ahead of time as long as I know about them. So you kind of get to set your stuff up. So I think that's all I got, fellas.
All right. I just want to say appreciate all the support. And let's go ahead and get this 291 card going. To me, it's like Christmas is tomorrow. Today is Christmas Eve. That's my Christmas Eve right here. So again, appreciate all the support. Thanks everybody for stopping by. And if you can tune into those.
No, go ahead. I messed up just then. I tried to put something else up. Oh, crap. You're muted, but no.
I gotta figure out why Stephen Thompson and Michelle Poirier got pulled from the card. But other than that, I'm looking forward to the card. It should be amazing. I ain't got nothing else. Take the Dolphins.
That's really kicking me out right there.
Yeah, that's what I tried to put up there, but I missed to hit a video instead.
All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
Oh man. Oh, there you have it. Well, Straight Talk Society, there you have it. Another fantastic episode of Straight Talk MMA, episode 14. I can't believe we've done 14 of these. The first one was in March. And we've done 14 of these shows already. I just can't believe it. So I thank you for all the new people that came over. Hopefully you come back Sunday for the review show. And like I said, coming up this Monday, Man Talk Monday, Tuesday, we'll have the Bible crew over to do their open biblical discussion. Wednesday, Wrestling with Reality. I don't think we have anything going on Thursday, but Friday will be the debut of Straight Talk Sessions After Dark. And that will be Friday at midnight. And that will just be I have no real structure for it yet. So I don't know how it's going to go. If you ever saw the movie The Ladies Man with Leon Phelps, it's kind of going to be like that, where it's literally just, I would say a call-in show, but you come on the YouTube panel and we just have a conversation about whatever you want to talk about. And we'll see how that goes. And I do have it planned to do it once a month, so it won't be a weekly thing because I already got too much on my plate. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Until next time, I leave you with these words. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations of them. Until next time, peace.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Hosted by Zay Bones and Trevor.